I know you want to be productive, my bro. I know how much you hate the fact that you try to sit down and you simply can't do any work. I know how easily you get distracted by little things. And there's only one solution to this, my bro. And I know you won't like it, but it's to limit your screen time. Before we get into the video, don't forget to check out my productivity coaching program. In this program, I'll help young men like you become more productive and transform your life through one-on-one coaching, personalized programs, 100% accountability, and continuous communication along the way. If you're ready to achieve your dreams and goals, check out the link in the description below. You see, the phone, it has become the world's biggest distraction. We are constantly checking notifications, doom scrolling, and even playing pointless games on it. And it's for this reason why we don't take any action towards our goal, why we're just lazy and unproductive. You see, not too long ago, I was exactly like this. I was very unproductive. I couldn't sit down and do any type of good quality work. You see, the thing is, as soon as I woke up, I'd check my phone. I'd see who messaged me. I'd go on Instagram, I'd go on TikTok, I'd go on WhatsApp, I'd go on all of them. And from the minute I woke up to the minute I went back to sleep, I was always on my phone. 6 to 8 hours, maybe 10 hours of screen time, depending on the day. And I know a lot of people suffer from this, where they're always on their phone and they can't seem to break away from it. The thing is, I used to see these people sit down, do a lot of work. You know, they won't even think about their phone. All they'll think about is the task at hand. And I was thinking to myself, something has to be done. They have a secret that I don't. And the reason for this was that they limited their screen time. They only went on their phone for a necessary reason. Not because they wanted to check Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, scroll here, do this, send that message. When I learned the fact that your phone is so detrimental and the only way to succeed is to limit your screen time, I had to make changes. So then I began to implement habits into my daily routine that would limit time screen. And there are so many reasons why the phone is distracting and it's destroying your productivity, my bro. Firstly, when you start your day, when you first wake up, your cerebral power is at the highest. This is because you've slept and your mind has refreshed its batteries. Therefore, it's ready for the day with its full capabilities and full power. However, if you go on your phone as soon as you wake up, you're instantly putting yourself at a disadvantage. Because even if you go for 5 seconds and check that notification, you lose a bit of your mental power. You lose a bit of your brain power. You thinking checking that notifications for 5 seconds means absolutely nothing. But in reality, you diminish your brain points. You diminish your brain power. And the thing is, if you're doing this throughout the day, do you really think you can sit down and do work when you're losing your brain power? Is being zapped from all these pointless notifications? When you open this every 5 seconds, your brain is constantly on information overload. You're gonna have all these notifications, doom scrolling. It's just losing your mental power. The thing is, you're gonna be less sharp because your brain is receiving information that is pointless rather than the real stuff that needs to be analyzed and worked on. A lot of you should know this already, but when you go on your phone, you release dopamine. Then after that, it dips. But it doesn't go to the baseline, it drops below the baseline. That's why when you see an interesting notification or funny video on TikTok, your mood is slightly lifted temporarily. But after that feeling's gone, you feel sadness and even worse. And there's a simple explanation to this. Your dopamine has dropped below baseline. There are so many reasons as to why the phone diminishes your dopamine. Firstly, when you receive a notification, you release a lot of dopamine, as neurotransmitters can create a sense of anticipation and addiction. Have you ever received an interesting notification? Maybe a text, maybe likes, maybe retweets, whatever the case may be, you always want more. This actually creates a dopamine loop. That's why you always want to go on your phone. And it's simple, the dopamine you get from your phone is very addictive. And you're thinking, how are these apps so addictive? How can't I break free? There's an easy explanation for this. You want that next dopamine rush with that tweet, that video, that post. And the thing is, because it's unexpected, you release even more dopamine. The thing is, your brain thinks these unexpected rewards, these unexpected dopamine releases are a good thing, but in reality, they're detrimental. And this is why we all suffer from a lack of motivation, why we can't seem to get up and do the work, why we can't seem to concentrate on that task, because our dopamine is constantly peaking, then dipping, and going below baseline, so it's even harder to concentrate and do tasks. And if you've wasted so much time on your phone throughout the day, do you really think in the evening you can sit down and do work? Do you really think you can sit there and be like, let me do this work, let me study, let me do this video, let me script this content? absolutely impossible. That's why when you try to sit down and do work, you simply can't, because your dopamine receptors are fried. You simply can't concentrate because there's no dopamine spike. There is no cheap entertainment for your brain, so you think it's boring. That's why when you try to sit down and do work, you easily get distracted by your phone because you want that dopamine rush. You want that dopamine boost. Furthermore, when you try to sit down and you've checked your phone throughout the day, you've possibly eaten, you've maybe done other stuff, your brain power is going to be so low that you can't sit down and do work. Your brain power has been diminished so significantly, you're unable to concentrate. That's why when you try to do work later on in the day, it seems so difficult. The reasoning behind this is that your brain needs a certain caliber of brain power, but because your brain is not at its full capabilities, you're unable to sit down and do the work. It seems so difficult and tedious and boring. Despite all these problems, my bro, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You can make a change. The first thing you can do to 10x your productivity, and I know you won't like this, is to disable all notifications. And I know you'll try and cope and say, what happens if I miss out on something important? You see, your lizard brain again is trying to stop you from doing something beneficial, something that will actually make a change in your life and help you towards your goal. Think about it. I'll give you the last 2 months, for example. When was it that something really important happened that someone texted you about it? Normally, someone will call you. Even in my own life, over the last 2 months, nothing of importance has happened that someone has had to call me or message me. And even if it's the case, they'll normally call you, and at that point it's allowed because it's a phone call for something important. However, if you don't do this, you are allowed these stupid and BS notifications to steal your attention, to diminish your brain power. The thing is, your brain wasn't expecting it, so it needs to process the information that is being given. And furthermore, it will spike your dopamine as well. So it's just a lose-lose situation. But the choice is yours, my bro. Do you want to make a change? Thus, the first step to nullifying your phone is to disable all notifications, because at the end of the day, you don't want to squander cheap dopamine and diminish your brain power for pointless notifications. Whenever you have time in the day and all the important work has been done, you can go on the specific app to check your messages, the tweets, whatever the case may be. You have that time period to go on your phone. The thing is, you can cope and say, nah, I'll leave it on, but I won't go on my phone. But you never know, you might need to go on your notes app, put your alarm on, you never know what the case may be. And in that moment, someone has messaged you or a pointless notification has come up which literally stole your attention, which literally diverted your focus. The next important step in taking back control of your life and becoming more productive is to go through long periods of the day without checking your phone. I would recommend doing this as soon as you wake up. The reason for this is when you first wake up, you have all that brain power that can be preserved towards your goal, that can be used instead of scrolling on your phone, straight to the laptop and doing work. And you don't want to waste it on pointless scrolling, checking this notification, doing that, straight to the task at hand. Furthermore, you also want to preserve your dopamine baseline, which is at a good level when you first wake up. So what I recommend is for the first few hours of the day, you don't go on your phone at all, by any means necessary. All you do is wake up, get out of bed, go to your laptop and start doing work. I know it's going to be hard, my bro. The first few days, the first few weeks are going to be extremely difficult. I was literally at that point where the first few weeks was very hard. I wanted to go on my phone so badly first thing in the morning, but I had to tell myself, no, let's be disciplined. But the thing is, if you implement this daily and say, for the first hour tomorrow, I won't check my phone, then the next day, it's 1 hour and 15 minutes. You progressively overload. It's the same way in the gym. You bench with the barbell, then you put a small plate on each side, then you put a medium-sized plate on each side, then you do a big plate. You progressively overload in weights. It's the same way you progressively overload in not checking your phone in the morning. Therefore, when you first start, it's going to be difficult. But when you get into the routine of it, it'll be so easy not to check your phone in the morning. If you implement these 2 steps today, your productivity will 10x, and it's very simple. If you don't have any notifications distracting you, and you're not checking your phone, you're able to preserve all your dopamine and brain power towards the goal at hand. You'll have 2 vital assets that can be deployed towards your goal, that can be used to take action and become more productive. I can guarantee you, if you implement it tomorrow morning, your productivity will skyrocket. You'll never feel as good. You see those big tasks that we need to do, and we try to do them in the afternoon or the evening, and we simply can't, I promise you, when you do it in the morning without checking your phone, it'll be like a walk in the park. You'll be like, this is so easy. Why did I stress?